What a glorious day, as I was fucking waiting for the bus. Oh no, it's hilarious. I miss him kind of because he was a really eloquent dude. He wrote well. He really covered our arse a lot.
Yeah, he did.
When we're live.
Dun dun.
Yay. Yeah. Hello. Welcome.
Hi. Look at all of us in the studio.
Back.
Yay.
We're back.
It's a bit surreal.
It is quite
I'll be
surreal.
honest, eh?
Yeah, especially that we've still got a controller that's in another town. So I've got a thing here controlling another thing, but it's weird being here now that you're here.
Yeah.
You should be here and I should be there,
Yeah,
but the cable's not long enough. I haven't got a long enough cable, but anyway, we'll get back to normal eventually.
And we like breaking the fucking rules here anyway, folks.
You know, it's what we do.
That is what we do, you're right, Joe. Folks, welcome to the Hot Box Show, and as always, we'll be talking
Dank.
for the first time in a long time. We are joined by Jules, Dan, Joe, myself, Buzz, and a fucking live
And we
audience.
got some people in the line.
Yeah, crazy times, but I hope all your people at home are having a good time. I hope you're about to roll up, pack that dad, pack that bong, pack that whatever. We are talking so much good shit tonight. We're going to be talking about how much THC is in your semen. There was some CBD revelations. Again, there was like a cannabis activist that had a total social media faux pas that we're going to be skittering hard on. I bet some of you oaks are chafing already. I know you, Yellow. But before we get into our poll, before we get into Instagram later, before we get into our guests, I think Joe brought this up. We all just need to say a big thank you to Jules for holding it together.
Yes.
And
To me.
high
Yeah.
and low. And the show went on.
The show went on
Sheer
because
force
Jules
of will.
missioned
It would have.
every week to make sure that the show carried on, and we're really grateful.
Big ups.
I think they're all grateful
Oh,
too.
gobsmacked, thanks.
Yeah,
because it
thank
was
you.
weird being here, and you're in boxes, and it's so
there.
fucking difficult to keep
It is.
energy levels
It
up.
really is. It's hard to.
So it's
It is.
much better to have you around. So, seeing as you're around, I've had these for the last 10 weeks. I've had them for the last 11 weeks. I'm sure Myrtle's watching now. These are
Yes, she's.
we went to the Dabadoo. It cost like €200 to get in. We waltzed in as VIPs. We had 4 of them. We scored some out of one of them. There's one for you. There's one for you, Buzz. There's just no, that one is
Thank you
specifically for you,
For me?
Joe.
Oh, okay.
It's got a girly thing in it.
Oh,
Wow.
A bit. So
Look at that.
that's what
Dabadoo.
everybody got on the way in. And what it is just a whole bunch of stickers and cack and seeds
Yeah,
and
all
fucking...
the stonic stuff.
There you go. So now you got a Dabadoo base cloth as well.
that is so cool! Oh, thank you so
Hey,
much.
so
And Moose,
pins,
thank you so much.
lanyards, and the usual
stickers,
swag you
paper,
get.
Dabadoo papers.
Dabadoo papers.
It's
dude.
also-
There's some fucking collateral.
Dabadoo papers. Right now, this is probably worth a hot penny. I can tell you that.
It's so
Awesome.
weird
Thank you
because
so
it's
much.
one of the last swag bags that
Damn
probably
nuts.
doesn't have a mask in it.
Yeah.
Every bag will be coming with masks from now on. The hottest items.
Wow.
What is in that little bottle? I forget about that one. What's that bottle of?
It's donkey juice shots. Strawberry and
Donkey
rose
juice.
petal
So that is that. Was that the semen in the THC? Is that what it is? That's not your sample, is it?
It's juice with a z, not a z.
Wow, look at all the stuff.
Well,
We've been
that's
unpacking this for ages lighter.
Yeah, man.
so.
She's just staring at lighter
The
things.
Dabadoo in Barcelona was the last public event Myrtle and I ever went to en masse. There was 200 people there, and we thought about it at the time. You know, nobody was sharing bongs or anything.
Yeah.
But now we wouldn't. The world has completely changed. So I reckon at the next Dabadoo, and there will be one in Africa.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, it's just some fun that we brought back.
Awesome.
Yeah. Stickers that nobody's got
I
and all
know,
that kind of business.
I'm drooling
So-
over here.
So there's a list. Mostly a lot of Americans in on the deal for Dabadoo, but it is essentially a European cup. And Mila Janssen is very much involved in it, the hash queen. I see Myrtle there. Myrtle's on a webcam. Myrtle's got... Oh no, is that your new webcam, Myrt?
Yep, it is.
Wow, that's
Much
looking, that's a
better.
cool shot you
Much
got there.
better.
That's much better, much better. So, Myrtle, I'm sure you just saw the last couple of minutes. We managed to get rid of those swag bags. They've been in every room in the house for the last 3 months. So they got their bits of stickers and shit. So that's cool.
Thanks,
They were
Bert.
just about antiques for the museum.
So how's your week been, Myrtle? You guys have been busy hashtagging up a storm, eh?
So. Hello, everybody. We've had a fantastic week. And before I give my little report back, I'd just like to say thanks so much to the Fields of Green for All team. They really have pulled out all the stops up, put everybody under ridiculous deadlines, because, as we know, that's the only way to get things done. But it's been very exciting. You know, the main thing of the Cannabis Can Help essay, the main thing that we're driving is petition signatures. Whoa, pushing this boulder up hills. So I can report back that at the beginning of the week on Monday we had 33,827. No Jacob Zuma moment there. And we now have 33,938. So we managed to get a paltry 111 signatures in the last 5 days.
Wow.
Keep
Okay.
pulling
That's
teeth. It's
fucking
okay,
really
but that's what you have to do.
Okay, slow start, but guys, we
Yeah,
need you to
numbers are numbers. At least it's
ramp
going
it
up.
up.
I think a lot of the reason is it's an old petition, and many people that are really hardcore fans have signed it long ago. Our trick is everyone's nodding in the audience, the team here, we've got to get it to the other folk. We've got to get it to a different demography. That's the trick with this one. But you're doing a great job, Myrtle. I'm involved on the periphery with the people in and out and watching it and getting out on Twitter. How do you feel about it all? You're confident?
Yeah, I think we're confident. You know, we did decide, because of the deadline, we did decide to start slowly. So this week, basically, what we've dealt with is Cannabis 101, which Marlene is going to tell you about in a minute, and then we've dealt with the chapter in our manifesto, because each week has a theme. According to the chapters of our manifesto, because the secondary objective of this whole Cannabis Can Help South Africa campaign is to get all of this incredibly dense information that's in our manifesto out there and in some sort of digestible form that people can start talking about. For example, in a conversation that comes up, oh yeah, I was driving the other day and I was so stoned, I waited for the stop street to turn green, you know, ha 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 ha. What's going to happen about weed and driving after proper legalization? Oh, well, I read in the manifesto that there's actually scientific evidence that shows that weed does not impair driving to the extent that alcohol does. So, or prescription medicine. So we're trying to inform the conversation. So to start off slowly this week, we dealt with the whole background. So we dealt with the history of cannabis, which everybody should know by now, particularly in South Africa. And we dealt with all the background issues, like what does the cannabis market look like right now in South Africa? So we've put out 5 blog posts, we've put a few videos, and just basically laying the ground. And then we had 2 big lights this week. The first one was that it was the Black Lives Matter week. And we had chosen black as our back colour for the campaign, so it really stood out nicely on social media. So I think that was a good luck. And then the other thing was that Zapiro came out with a great cartoon taking the piss out of the churches and the religious gatherings that are allowed. And it ends up with Ramaphosa saying, our president, saying that, oh, what next you're going to tell me you want a Dagga club. And so that went out into the ether, and Marlene is also working on the Dagga Private Clubs project together with Charles and Dale, and they'll be reporting back week after next about Dagga Clubs. So it's been a crazy week. It's been fun. It's been great. And it feels like we're kind of achieving something after this malaise of the last kind of 6 weeks. So we're excited, and next week we're going to be putting it up a notch. We've got a video challenge, we've got a competition, we've got lots and lots of information coming about the foundational principles of what we must think about for legalization. That's on the serious side. So So please, we ask, please can you share the petition? Please can you use the hashtag Cannabis Can Help SA? And look out for our stuff and see where you can. If we don't get hold of you directly or tag you directly, then please can you just look out for our stuff and share it and come up with ideas of what we can do, because we've got from now until the end of June. Lekker.
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 Enjoy your evening watching the show. And John Vergados from Montreal in about 20 minutes or so. I'll see you on the thread for that.
So, I'll certainly be watching that from the couch, and I'd also like to just give Marlene 5 minutes to just hop onto the couch there and to tell us about the Cannabis 101 challenge that's been running this week and that is going to run for the duration of the month. There you go. And thanks so much. I'm going to go put my pajamas on. Bye.
Bye. Welcome to the couch. You haven't been on the couch. You came on the couch on D-Day, yeah?
Yeah, you caught me by surprise.
Have you been on a hotbox couch before?
No, I haven't.
Well, tell us how you
the virgin, guys!
Yeah. Can I have a fucking bong? Thanks.
Yeah.
A dab.
Have a dab.
Yeah.
No, you have a dab with pleasure.
So while Marlene has a lekker fat dab, yeah?
Thanks.
Fields of Green has been pumping out content like every day. It's definitely a refresh on a lot of the information that the Dagga couple and Fields of Green have put out there. And I've seen Marlene's name a lot there with the articles as well. She's on the ground banging out a lot of content. So Marlene, what's the 101 about? Or would you like to...
I'd like to.
While she's doing this, let me just add on a quick side note, because Myrtle touched on with the theme of black for this week. I just want to make a little side note. We didn't choose black after all of this stuff has started happening. We'd actually chosen the colour a couple of weeks before the world fell apart and racism started becoming a big talking point and focus point and things like that. Yeah. So it was a coincidence. We didn't piggyback on that. They didn't piggyback, obviously, on in the greater scheme of things. But just a little. I felt it important to make a note on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Say for ons, no?
Okay. So, Myrtle was in Parliament last year, and she realised that those folks don't really know much about cannabis, hey?
No.
And obviously, if you want to put in a law about a plant, like, best you know what it's about before you put in any laws, because how can you decide how to manage this thing if you don't understand it? So we decided, as part of our campaign, or to our Cannabis Can Help South Africa campaign, that who better to educate the lawmakers than the actual fucking stoners who are smoking the plant?
AKA the industry experts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You guys. You're the industry experts.
You guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dankspirts.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that back to semen and THC, the Dankspirts?
All on Dankspirts
The bots are
later.
going to hit us so hard when we get there later. But stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. We're going to get to the semen.
Okay, back to the 101.
Thanks. Okay. So, we need to get you guys to educate these people, man. We want to get you involved to help us educate them before the deadline of the Concord judgment falls into whatever it's going to fall into, so that we can have our say. Because if we don't at least try to make a difference, then what is it all for? What have we been doing all this time? What have we been fighting for? And this is the last push. Like, we just really need to just a little bit more, but we need all the help that we can get. So we've decided that we're going to let you do the talking. We are going to get you guys at home to help us write an article, like a proper article that's going to go into the manifesto, that's going to go with the petition to the president. Okay, so this is not it's not going to just go up into the air and disappear. Like, your name is going to be there, your expertise is going to be there, and everyone is going to know that, like, you are the guy that knows how this plant works, what can it do for us, how does your system work with this plant, and how can our country benefit from this. So, we're giving you a structure. We want you to tell us, firstly, what is cannabis, okay? I'm not even gonna, like, expand on that. Like, it's stupid, but actually, wait, let me say this. Last week, when we were deciding our names for the campaign, I spoke to one of my Zulu friends to help me translate to see if we can use some of the hashtags in other languages. And when I used the word cannabis, he wasn't sure, like, okay, is cannabis weed?
Yeah, it won't translate.
And I was like, but I was like completely surprised. Like, how are you living in this world and you don't know that cannabis is weed? So that's a very basic place that we obviously need to start. So tell us what is cannabis, and then tell us that, or what is the difference between Dagga and hemp? Because there is a difference. Okay, tell us about that. And then when we go into all of these different strains, we want to know about hybrids and indicas and sativas, because that is also a distinguishment that needs to be made. Then obviously our system, we have this lovely endocannabinoid system that is coming into play with all these lovely medicines that are coming out nowadays. And that's also a big thing that people don't really know much about. People don't know how the system works, how does it look on the inside, and how does what you bring into your body interact with that, and what is the effect of that. So that's important to know. And then obviously very important from an economical perspective is what can this plant be used for, because that's also a million things that can make a difference in a million ways for this country right now.
The most important part, actually.
Yeah. And
Everyone's
we need all
got a
the help we
bagazole
can
in their
get.
heads. It's not about a bagazole.
Yeah. Yeah.
It helps. Bagazoles are great. Don't get me
It
wrong.
helps.
Well, would help them see the bigger picture on exactly what else it could do.
For sure. So we are asking you guys to visit our campaign page, Cannabis Can Help South Africa, and in the comment section submit your
Comments? Suggestions?
your document,
Yeah.
your Educating the Lawmakers document. So you can go onto the blog. There's an article explaining everything that I just said to you and explaining where to go and where to submit your things. But yeah, guys, please keep an eye out on social media for us. Like, we're really pushing hard to get out all the attention that we can get, and we need your support. Like, this is the time to share, and this is the time to get everyone that you know involved and ask for their help. We really need
Oh, but
it.
sorry, I haven't got time.
No, make time.
Make time.
Make time.
Make time.
Okay, make time.
Make time.
Lockdown Volume 3.
Yeah, like
It's honestly, guys, it's as simple as a like and share to
Yeah.
help things get along.
It's
and
the least
tell
you
your,
can do, yeah.
you know, tell your cannabis story, what it means to you, because it means a lot to us. Because a lot of people, I wrote an article a while ago, was like, can cannabis really save the world? And a guy put me on my spot a bit, and he said, you know what, it might not save the world, but it can save my world.
Right.
Yeah.
There
You know,
Start
So I was
at
like,
home.
that's an excellent point.
Start at home.
But it brings us onto our poll for this week. Our
Yes.
poll is, can cannabis help the post-C word or the post-lockdown economy? The reason I asked this, there was a very good interview on, I think it was Biz News Daily or something like that, with Paul Michael from Schindler's, with Pierre from Cannabis, I think,
Yeah.
and the one chick from SAPRA. And it was like about CBD and corruption. But the whole thing was like, we've got so much to gain and so little to lose by doing this, because also if we don't do it, there's going to be no point of
Yeah.
even attempting to, because everyone will have surpassed us forever.
Forever. Now is the time.
So the poll this week is, guys, can cannabis help South Africa's economy? Definitely. Nope. Or it already does.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because maybe there is an informal market that exists already that has survived through all of this anyway. So maybe it's all moot.
That's it.
You tell us.
I think
right?
people that have been operating
Yeah.
in the black market system, the cannabis community, were a whole lot more prepared to handle lockdown.
Yeah.
And the noobs, I mean, shame having to try and find cigarettes and alcohol.
Yeah, look, it was a bit
No,
unfair.
it's
So
For us, yeah.
14 days, you know, everyone took them on face value at 14 days, so they got 2 weeks of ciggies, but...
Shame they still trust their government. Oh, yes. Well, Chris J
Silly
says
people.
that he's willing to help with our campaign as much as possible. So thank
No,
you, Chris.
nice,
Really
thank you.
appreciate that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
We'll
forgot to
send you an
say this.
email.
Yeah.
The chat's going crazy.
Yeah, the chat is going crazy.
Everybody
Facebook
knows
Live.
Bobby.
Some oaks,
Awesome.
guys.
Carl Peterson's watching. Hello, Kyle. Anton de Boer, love the elbow coughs. So we've got the C-word coughs going on. That's cool. Joe VDM, Fandameva maybe. First time watching from J Bay. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
Peter Reiger. Isn't it cool to see the crew back, Peter? I thoroughly agree with you, matey.
And on this side, we've got
You're
Brendan Wainwright, Mary Lou,
Mary Lou, hello.
Hey.
Gerber the Gardener,
Gerber.
Suresh Patel.
Suresh is in the house.
Chris J. Russ Warren.
Has Chris J got his tin hat on?
He doesn't say so.
Okay.
Zolbart.
Keichel.
Michael Muller.
Hey,
Jeez,
Sean.
Full on.
Amy,
Yeah.
hello
So-
friend.
Hey, me.
Hey, Marlene, thanks for the
Yeah,
update.
I'm scared you guys are going to
Well,
get
no,
onto the
you-
semen
you're
part
welcome to
before.
sit if you
No,
want.
I'm scared you're getting to the semen part before I go. So
Do you need a bed before
Thanks.
We've got
Alright,
people
no,
here
I'm all
asking
good
about-
now. Thanks, guys.
Bobby.
Can I have a desk cam, please? Because I just want to show you what we're smoking tonight, because there's some epic weed around. We never really got to it.
Good morning.
Can I have a go at this?
Yeah.
Because it's very beautiful looking weed, but look at the state of my hand. Christ. So
Wait for desk.
we've been, we're gardeners. We garden a lot. So this pair of hands looks like it. So I don't know whether this is going to work. Am I going to get a cam? Possibly.
There we
There we go. There's a cam.
But it's a thing. My hands look like this so that I can
Put your hand
smoke
up,
like
put your hand
this.
Yes,
behind it.
exactly.
Do the whole like.
Well, look at the palm of my hand. It's even shitter.
There we go.
There you go. So that,
Oh.
look at my beautiful 1080p fingernail. That's like Freedom Farms deluxe stuff. But that
Freedom
bud-
Farms? Did you say Freedom
I
Farms?
said Freedom Farms. Dan, tell me about that, bud.
I picked this up. This is apparently some Gorilla Glue.
Is this
Some
gonna
GG,
look-
yeah?
Yeah, and it looks
And then-
so fucking real. It's
And then
unreal.
somebody arrived today with
Cool.
some really cool looking washed diamonds.
Nice.
That's very light, eh?
So
Yeah.
that's literally THCA
So this is
separated.
pretty much. And you take the diamonds out. He had a jar of beautiful, terpenes. And then we had a smoke of this morning, and it tasted nothing but gets you high.
You rate it?
And then this is what I brought down before Dan arrived. I've been doing a few hours of this. This is Cookies Kush. Very tasty little bud. But that one of yours,
Yeah,
Jesus,
some of that.
look at that, man.
It's all
I don't know
set.
whether you saw last week when Myrtle was doing this really amazing job of setting off with the Fields of Green for All. Dan was chopping this with a credit card in the shot for the whole time. Brute, that's a work of art. So we've got many, many different types of weed tonight, and if anybody's willing to share a joint, I'll smoke it.
I think we're gonna have to make a legit F moon rock on air soon, guys.
We'll
Well,
go around to
we
that.
can-
We do
we
on
can
the
do that.
second.
No, we can do it now.
Dan, thanks for the desk cam.
We've got some dabs here. We've got a
We got
fucking
some dabs.
stupidly
Yo!
resinous bud and some stupid things there.
Absolutely. So
Should we do this?
sausage it up and let's see.
Go for
Do
it.
it.
Go for it.
No.
Yay.
Nobody. Anyone driving?
So, how are we gonna smoke this moon rock?
In a bong.
So we should make it bong size, the moon rock. I maintain the perfect moon rock should be designed to fit the bowl. Because if you get this chunky 5 gram fucking moon rock, what do?
Well, yeah.
Well, we cut it up with a pair of scissors and a shot glass. I think we've done that before.
Okay.
But it's
But I think you're right. We should make it. If you make this, you have to break a little nug off, and you've got everything on one, and you put it all into it in one.
Yes, bite-sized
So you break a
pieces.
piece off and you stick it in the bong, and you got a bit of everything, and that's it. No crushing, no nothing.
Like the
Yes.
whispers of weed.
Now we
guys.
must oh, you've taken that off. Okay. We'll
So
take a
guys,
photo of
please
that later.
remember, like, share, subscribe. Hashtag Hotbox Show on Instagram to stand a chance to win some KIF merch. And Jules, you've got a guest coming up later all the way from Canada.
Montreal. Yeah, we met him a few years ago.
Canada.
He's the editor-in-chief of Skunk Magazine. And the reason I got hold of him was I saw the most bizarre thing on one of my feeds from his compadre there, another guy that we met in Montreal. We haven't got time for him this week as two guests, but we'll have him on the show one day. And he had a video, or he put up a video of the main park in Montreal, and people are now in a relaxed lockdown, and they're on picnic blankets, and the cops are there with tape measures. And I just thought, Jesus, are we lucky or what that we just get guns in our faces and know, at least you know where you stand. But I mean, coming around with tape measures and stuff's a bit
it's
anal,
just,
isn't it?
yeah.
When you
That's
see
too-
the
that's
queue,
too
when you
polite.
see for the queue for the Sassa Grand, you know.
I don't know what to say.
Yes, you see the picture of the Go-Go's sleeping in the bloody ground waiting for Sassa to open in the morning because they
It's
didn't know there'd be
heartbreaking.
any money. You're fucking out there.
It's heartbreaking.
Out there. Anyway, don't want to go there. Let's get lit. Jesse Daniels has an exceedingly good idea. Yeah, how are you doing there?
Get
For
rid
us,
of
let's smoke and grow ourselves out of this recession.
Yeah.
Guys agree, let the poor into the economy. Let's grow the poor into the economy.
Yeah, because that's something they said in this interview on TV, is that there's currently so many barriers to entry. Because what I keep hearing is all these Canadians and that are fucking off. And
Yep,
it makes
they're all
me
pulling
worry
out.
if an oak with a $1 billion budget can't make it work in South Africa, how the rest of the fuck of us gonna make it work?
I think it's because they're not used to working with South Africans.
I don't
We've
know.
grown up in South Africa. We know how
think
we
Africans are
operate.
false.
It's Eurocentric.
It is.
heads
It's a
coming
South
and
African culture
thinking-
versus Canadian culture. Because we do. I mean, we may be divided up into many different cultures, but South Africa.
Yeah, but the bottom
is
line
a-
is, what the fuck do the third world know anyway?
Well, they thought they could come in here and rape us, and you know what? We've sent them crying home. Well done, guys.
But we may have cut off our nose despite our face.
No, we got some infrastructure that they left, and there's people with
Yeah.
expertise. They had a couple of years to learn the tricks. Lesotho's got some empty
Yeah.
buildings and shit, but it's all coming back together again. And have you been watching online on your feeds how nature is encroaching in space that used to have tons of traffic and shit? There's like beach recliners with fucking walruses on and stuff, and like flamingos in the main street.
It's
and-
amazing.
Penguins in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Did you see the picture of Dubai in the background with the big fucking hotel in the middle and the straight piece of tarmac with the sand encroaching?
Wow.
I'm telling you,
Oh, on the road.
yeah,
Yes,
you
yes,
check this
yes.
thing, and it's like Armageddon. It's a very, very trippy picture of our planet. It's a weird thing that it's actually our planet and it's not CGI or something. But then some bright spark comes up and then he says, "Don't blame that on this. It happens every year." Except that they haven't got the bulldozers to get rid of the sand every year. Because in Walvis Bay, same thing. In Hout Bay, all the time. They're fucking
Sweeping the roads.
sweeping the roads from the fucking tide and everything, you know. So everything's unreal.
Well, I've noticed parks and recreation, I don't know, whatever they're called, around Joburg seem to have come out, cutting lawns in the roads and stuff, so...
No, because
Yeah.
They're allowed to go
they were
to-
scared the corona was in the grass, so they couldn't cut it while the roads were empty and maintain the roads while there was no on the fucking road.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're going to do
Oh,
it.
it's an adjustment, though. So much going on.
Actually,
so much going on.
in my local area, going to hardware shops and stuff, on major 3- and 4-way stops, they've actually tarred lots and lots of intersections while there's been nobody around.
Painted
That's
lines,
good.
all
Yeah,
that
I've been
shit.
painting lines and shit. It's a fucking strange life out there.
It is a very strange life.
If you're waiting for a couple of videos from the Tops Bottle Store, we'll get to it shortly.
Yes, everybody's
What's
biting.
the
I'm
thing?
just going through this
Yeah,
comment
also-
feed. Yeah.
Guys,
Can't read the TV. I'm using
if
my
you
phone.
haven't seen the new Spa Tops ad, stay tuned.
Hey, Booze has got a
We're
kick.
getting there. We've got to save the best for last, right?
All right.
Are we still on?
Okay. Thank you, Control. We've just got John doing. John's just joined, but he's on the phone to somebody in Montreal.
Why don't we take a minute, Jules? Why don't you tell us a little bit about John, so we got a little bit of an idea about who this guy is and where he fits in.
Well, Myrtle and I put in a brief abstract to see if we could score another conference. We did, and they sent us to Montreal.
Yeah.
And I needed some weed, obviously. So, Skunk Magazine is one of the oldest magazines in the world, cannabis culture.
I think we had Julie on in the first week of
Yeah, that's right. We had
lockdown.
Julie on soon. There's one of our copies of
Yeah.
Skunk. So we got hold of this man, John, at Skunk and said, "When you in town, you can't believe how famous we are. Can we get some
Never
weed
heard
off
of
you?"
us. We're really famous.
So he got hold of his compadre at Skunk, and he whizzed round to the front of the building at the conference, and I came out in a jacket and collar and sat in the car, and this dude looked across and said, "Jesus, you're old."
Old ass.
So the weird thing about John is when we arrived in Montreal, I got everything crossed about who my landlord was at the Airbnb, and he happened to be a Senegalese guy.
Okay.
And I was talking to John, thinking he was my Airbnb, and he thought I was just completely freaking mad. He'd never met me ever. So that was weird, actually meeting him for the first time. But you know what? In Montreal for 10 days, he showed us a real good time. And he's such a stalwart, and he's been at it for so long. And I've heard him on many sort of podcasts and stuff. He's a man of many words. He's a very eloquent man. And are you there, John? Can you hear everything I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't believe none of it, though.
It's good to see your face, man. Welcome to Johannesburg at 7:30 in the evening.
Thank you, thank you. Weather's quite nice for this time of year, I guess, huh?
Well, what actually...
yeah, I've never been to South Africa.
No, well, we're inviting everybody along.
With the delay.
Yeah, I'm just getting used to it, man. There is a little bit of a delay here. So, John, what promoted me to actually get hold of you this week was Vegas put a post up of the local park with a bunch of cops on bicycles measuring the distance between people. And I thought that was really, really quite bizarre, because we're going through the motions of a lockdown here, and as now Dan will point out that it's the longest lockdown. There's been the most arrests on lockdown. There's been more things banned on lockdown.
Most strictest
but
lockdown, yeah.
I feel totally blessed that the cops aren't measuring us. It must be pretty bizarre to you watching all of this happening.
I mean, Montreal's been one of the hardest hit places in Canada. Half the cases, I think, in Canada are in Montreal. So, I mean, they're trying to take a little bit of a conservative approach. I mean, I'm of two minds. You know, I mean, basically, we've been fighting government for so long that we really don't trust what they have to say. But at the same time, you try to err, you know, I did in caution kind of thing. You know, you'd hate to bring illness to somebody else. So, I mean, it's a mix between compassion and freedom kind of thing. But I think, in my case, I can't speak for the rest, but I don't mind like losing a couple of temporary liberties, you know, as long as they're temporary, you know, and they're for a good cause. I don't know. I just think it's strange how polarized and divided that the whole world has become, where even things we agree on is a part of what out there, and it didn't look good for the future of solving, coming to solutions. You know, we've lost really, I think, the ability to debate things intelligently and civilly. You know, and I mean, this just showed it, and again, it's showing now down south with another killing. You know, it's what happens when you put like overly militarized, overly steroided, overly like people that have seen war as cops, and you know. But give them every weapon, you know, that you're at your disposal, and without having the right, you know, temperament and go police the world, you know. And you know, I don't know. It's for me, it's kind of a frustrating time in the sense that I understand what both sides have to say, and at the same time, it's really damning about how I don't think we're ever going to get there again.
Yeah, right. There's no
point we can disagree civilly on things.
There's no middle ground, and there's no.
I've been schooled. No. And even people that you consider allies, basically, there's so much emphasis on the language of the debate that, you know, what's lost in the message is the message. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. For me, it's frustrating. Like, I'm sort of like taking a step aside from, I wouldn't say activism, but basically wholesale activism.
Sure.
You know what I mean, I'm trying to pick my battles a bit more carefully these days. You know?
Well, when I met you 3 years ago, you were just about to go to face your charges for I think it was trafficking seeds or something benign like that, and you ended up with a bracelet, didn't you? You ended up with an ankle bracelet, courtesy of the state.
No, not an ankle bracelet. One of the more severe conditions. I was only allowed 3 hours out a week, you know, but it's still better than jail.
Yeah, sure.
By the time it got to my charges, they had instituted the Cannabis Act here, and there was no point in fighting anymore because even a victory would have changed nothing, you know. At the time we're fighting this case, we had, like, the reason we were doing it is because we didn't want the genetics to become property, exclusive property of anybody. And that's what they were setting up to do. That's what they're still trying to set up to do. But basically, at that time, they changed the law to the point where even if they'd won, it would have changed nothing. But we pled out. I mean, it cost a lot of money. You know, it hurt the magazine tremendously because we lost our advertising base for a good couple of years. You know, I had to keep it going through my pocket. You know, we didn't let go of any employees for the first couple of years, even though we didn't print for an entire year.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the salaries too. I mean, on the whole, it probably was like a $300,000 case, and basically damages to the magazine, plus still paying fines. In the beginning, they wanted 800,000 fines, customs and duties, actually, just excise taxes and things like that. It appeared nowhere on their schedule, so basically they decided to tax it and levy it as high as they could, you know, and that's what they did.
That's complete
But
madness.
it's almost over. Finished most for us. In hindsight, it's nothing compared to what other people are still facing. There's still people in jail in the U.S. for life, for plants.
Sure.
You know,
You
forget that sometimes.
in the last few weeks on the show, we've been visiting various parts of Canada and North America, asking them what it's like in lockdown. And we spoke to Julie about a month ago in California, and she was explaining that one of the silver linings of all of this is the fact that weed has been classified an essential item and the dispensaries stay open. Has that happened in Canada? Is that available to you there?
It happened. Quebec stores, the government stores haven't shut down at all, and there's still lineups out the door. Ontario had deemed them non-essential and then deemed them essential after a outcry. It's funny how basically something has become essential all of a sudden where they used to jail you for it.
Yeah, just as you were just as you were allowed out 3 times a week, then all of this snowballs into this. I don't think it's pretty. It's
I was thinking, I'm the only one who should be allowed out, you know? Because I've been quarantined.
That's really funny. And tell me, John, in the last few weeks, I mean, you must have been on the same kind of lockdown, sort of, what is it, like 2 months now, 8 weeks or something, pretty much? Have you managed to get a magazine out in that time?
Yeah, we have. I have no excuses now. He's like, why aren't you at work? He's like, I can't say I'm somewhere anymore.
I seem to remember, I was just recounting to Myrtle the other night when we walked into Skunk Magazine for maybe the 2nd or 3rd time on that visit. You were sat at your desk, and what had come through was an email from South Africa from Weed.coza, from Chris J, because he was writing for Skunk Magazine, and on your screen was a picture of Myrtle and I as we walked in the office. That was a synchronicity, trippy thing that went on that moment.
Yeah, Chris J is on the thread watching us live.
I'm not savvy enough to plan it, you know, it just happened. So.
And then I seem to remember we went out and ate and drank a lot.
What did you do?
Yeah, we went to a friend's house, I remember, I think. Well, we started at a bar, and then we went somewhere else.
Right, and it's Skunk Magazine. So could you say now that Skunk Magazine is back to going from strength to strength? I mean, you put so much time and effort and money into it.
Well, but basically, with the last issue was my last as editor-in-chief.
Uh-huh.
I sort of handed off the reins to Julie.
Right.
For a few reasons. One, I'm getting tired of the same thing. 2, the last few years, like I said, took the fun out of it. And for me, in this legal world, the romance is gone. I don't feel like writing about big companies and their stock portfolios and their sham strains and all that. It's you know, I used to enjoy writing about smugglers and outlaws and people that basically risk freedoms to show people how beneficial this plant was.
Corporate cannabis.
And working with the people that are in it. Oh, in Canada, it has changed its opening a bit, but to me, the damage is done. They had such a chance to lead the global revolution of cannabis, and all they did was make it into an industry like any other, led by bankers and shysters and people. Like you look at the Canadian companies now, half of them are going bankrupt. The black market is still the preferred choice of everybody, and they didn't have to do it that way. Could have been much more inclusive. You could have put 100,000 farmers to work, have a central testing facility. Pass your things, you just sell it.
Boom.
Not try to make a captive market using all the prohibition tactics and reefer madness in order to just give it to a whole bunch of cronies and friends who put it to the ground, meanwhile exited with $100 million.
Yeah, no, you do know, the Southern Africa the last couple of years have been crawling with their canopy and the rest of it. We've had a hell of a thing. We've had many discussions on this show about it, the pros and the cons, because, bottom line is in South Africa, one of the things we maybe need a little bit of is expertise in growing en masse. But that's about it. We've got it pretty well taped with some really expert people around.
We have good farmers.
Yeah, we've got some great farmers around. So, huh?
It's been growing wild for thousands of years. It's not that difficult to figure out.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
Well, we
I
can't.
always said the plant doesn't need protection. Like the plant, we don't need protection from the plant. The plant needs protection from us. You know?
Exactly. Corporate cannabis just went and took all the fun out of it.
The plant on its own basically is benign and beneficial. It's the companies that basically put these poisons in it that you have to watch out for. The plant itself is perfect.
I seem to remember a number of months ago, John. You were in, or maybe it's a year ago now. So in the last year, you were in Greece. You headed off to Europe, and then I think maybe you were going to try your hand at doing something or other in Europe, just for a change. Is that what your plans for that? Say again.
We're still in discussion with some groups. We went to Portugal as well, and we got quite far along. But the problem is that a lot of these countries were mesmerized by the promises that these big licensed producers were making. And I actually met with one of the prime minister of Greece at that time, and I told him something that basically was prophetic, in that you'll never see any of this money. The country will never see any of this money that basically these people are promising. And what's happened? The facilities remain unbuilt. Nobody's working. These were just things used to show the stockholders at home that they were getting these multi-million-dollar contracts throughout the world and to buy more of their stock, which is practically worthless. None of these like ventures were ever real, because they're headed by people who know nothing about this industry and treating it like any other.
That's it. Failure.
I mean, that's what I would tell anybody, any leader in South Africa. All these promises that these companies make are not going to come true. And if they do, it won't be to the betterment of the nation. It will just be to the profit of the company in question.
100%.
Well,
you've seen it in Canada. You're seeing it in California. In California, they're pushing out all the small farmers, in favor of these big conglomerates. It's like business as usual. And I fought all these years for it not to be that. Maybe naively so, thinking that maybe we had a chance to export the spirit of Canada and the true stewards that were protecting it for all these years and showcasing and highlighting it and showing what it could do to the world. Instead of having them included, they're being pushed out. And, for me, it's one of the reasons why I've taken a step back from even cannabis writing. I want to branch out into my own darker side, kind of thing. I'm still going to be involved with the magazine, but at the same time, as more of an independent kind of thing.
Okay.
I still have shares in it, but like one of the things I'm looking forward to is writing a bit about the history of skunk, because it's not like we were a typical magazine. We actually became what we were writing about, and it's quite an interesting thing. Maybe we'll do a movie one day. Could be a drama, comedy, horror, or even porn.
And it'll be all four of those. John, I must tell you something funny that's in our live stream here. There's a guy, Michael Muller, is on the thread, and he says, SA guys are getting cravings seeing that cigarette of yours. Because for 2 months now, tobacco's been banned.
Tobacco is illegal.
Tobacco is illegal under lockdown, so there's this massive black market for cigarettes, more so than weed. So you keep tugging on that cigarette and everyone's getting fucking withdrawal and heebie-jeebies watching it.
Well, I'll smoke for all you guys, man.
Thank you.
Ah, you're such a good man.
So kind.
Thanks, man. That's so cool of you.
I say these things keep me alive. My body's so toxic that nothing can survive.
John, it's been super cool talking to you, man. It's great to see your face.
Pleasure, anytime.
You will go from strength to strength, I know, and we will see you in your hometown.
Really cool room. Really cool room.
We can't wait to have you here.
To hide all the stuff in the back,
We'll see you in South Africa one day, no doubt. Everyone's going to come here in the end, because we're very close to a full kind of trade legalization. I can feel it in my bones in the next year or two. Then you can come and smoke some of the...
Not the place you want to be right now, so maybe I'll take you up on the offer.
Fantastic, man. Good to see your face again, John. Thank you, man.
Keep well.
Yes, he's you and I have written for quite a number of years now. He's double it and go even further back, and he's now looking at stuff that he's written. He's right, though. It's like...
Will you pass me that skunk quick? Let me show it to the oaks at home, if they can get
an
idea. Eh?
And it's actually on the front is one of my favourite humans in the whole world as well. That's Jessica Official Violet on Instagram. She's absolutely sexy as fuck. Jessica Official Violet, go check her out. She's a honey and she's cannabis and she's gorgeous.
And it's kind of like a High Times of Canada.
It's Canada's High Times, basically, yeah.
But it's the same thing that a lot of, not going to lie, but I guess it's the demographic. Dudes, bongs, and chicks.
Well, that's pretty much it. Sorry, what else do you need? Oh, some ads in the back, some seed offers. But, I see 7 Leaf on the thread. Sam's still doing that.
Yes, yes.
And then Extract, I haven't seen much of the Extract. But they're still around, I guess. I don't think anyone's doing any serious publishing at the moment.
Yeah, man, and a quick shout out to 7 Leaf, eh?
Yeah, Sam, if you're listening, wherever you are, we'll get you in for a Zoom at some point, see how it's going. Sweet.
Absolutely. Sure.
Fucking hell.
So, now that we're done with the CBD and N vibes and all that, are we going to chill? Someone's going to have to smoke that fucking moon rock that Dan just
Dan's
made.
been making a moon
I
rock.
sent pictures there to the tech team. They can maybe
amazing.
possibly show you. But there she is.
Please remember, like, share, subscribe. This week's poll is, will cannabis help South Africa's post-lockdown economy? Definitely. Your smoke machine's working there. Definitely. No, or it already is. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about the new Spa Tops ad this week. That's funny. And we're also going to be talking a little bit about semen. Believe it or not, I know we were all kind of a semen, but Jules was once a semen.
I was a seaman, yeah. Yeah, a royal seaman.
So, is there anything else we should talk about? Joe, you wanted to say thank you to an affiliate before we get on to the affiliates. It was a new affiliate shout out.
Yes, I wanted to give a super big shout out to one of our newest affiliate. They came on board in the middle of lockdown. I mean...
Yeah, it was just then. Yeah, it was...
Right at the beginning of a little personal crisis, and so I hadn't had them loaded onto the website, and it was just a major stuff up on my behalf. So I just... Homeostasis Healing... Welcome to the Fields of Green for All affiliate family. We are really excited to have you.
Yeah.
We're going to do loads of posts for you, catch up, everything. But I just needed to say welcome and thank you for your patience.
Yeah, see, and there's another one. There's an Instagram winner that fell through the gap as well, because it's all pretty weird. Even now, it's weird not having anyone here mixing the mics and shit. Because I noticed last week this mic was full on and the Zoom was down a bit. So it's like if it's like that now, whatever. Can I have a desk cam again, please? If you can desk cam me, because Dan's got this crazy thing going on here. I know there's something really weird about this where it focuses in. Look at that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Whoa, now it's switched. Oh, fuck. Roof shots!
Behind the scenes, Oaks.
There.
Hashtag Moonrock.
Oh, fuck.
Look at that.
Do you know what? That is so dank. Elon Musk's gonna send a fucking rocket to land on it.
Oh, look, Jesus, look at that one there. Okay, so what do we do with this now?
Someone smashes
Smoke it.
Thank you for the desk cam, that's
Bong,
pretty
bong.
epic. How's its
the
table?
song
Look at the
goes.
crumpet. We had crumpets before the show. There's still one sitting there.
Oaks, someone's gonna have to. I don't know who's smashing a record.
I'm not smashing a bong live on a show. Sorry, I've got some shit to
Looks
talk.
like
I'll be-
it's left to us.
I'll be
It's left to
fucking
us. Look, I don't
apoplectic.
have to drive anywhere
Yeah,
tonight, so...
the fucking 18
It'll make me
pulling
drive
up here.
straighter.
Are we... do we need to break it?
So Joe Dan are gonna fuse like Goku
Yep.
and
So
Vegeta
we'll just
and smash this
do that.
bomb.
Okay.
Oh, you want to kill no one after. So.
That was double Dutch to me. I don't know what the fuck you said there. It's like a whole generational time zone or whatever the fuck that was.
Pew 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 pew. Yeah,
I'm sure Charles will probably know what the fuck that was. Ah, gosh.
What's the chat saying?
Everybody's answering for
Just the tops, man.
Yeah, look at you get Mike Tyson
No,
on
no,
the show
show.
with a cop like that. Mike's making some news, eh?
Look, is back.
I
Back.
saw
You've
that.
seen how fast that fucker is. Holy shit!
Did you check the dude with his shirt off at the 20 years after he won a world title? Fuck, he's fresh. He's 60 something.
But they say in theory now, because of his age, he hasn't. I was watching the Joe Rogan on this mic thing. In theory, because of his age, he's allowed to use a thing that lighties aren't allowed to use. That means he might be more dangerous now than he was 20 years ago, guys. 30 years ago.
What, does he get like a handicap or something?
He's allowed to take a testosterone replacement therapy because of his age.
Oh,
So
wow.
in theory, he could be better now than ever before. But anyway, enough of that. Because there's also the hot boxing with Mike Tyson thing. Go check it out. The Oak's got a weed farm apparently as well. And Tigers from Joe Exotic and all that. But for now, Oaks.
Al says he's not as fast as Bones.
Let's hear him. He's not as fast as Bones. Should we just do this, guys? Should we just get rolled and do this, guys? So, while the technical crew lines up this video in the background, we had a big debate whether we should watch this or not on the show. We're going to watch it, guys. So for all of you who don't know, there's this dude in the community, Bobby Greenhash.
Thank you.
And the guy's been around. He's made big news. He's really big on the Richards Bay and KZN scene for the cause and that. And in a way, I respect the Oak because you get what you see with him. But this Oak lost his shit outside a Top Spa because they wouldn't let him in because he wasn't wearing a mask and he went full Karen on this poor security guard.
Karen. I suppose that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, you're skitting the selfie thing and you're saying, check, this Oak's not wearing a mask. But watch, guys, shit's about to kick off.
Quite a comedy show, I must
No
say.
sound, no sound.
There's no sound for us,
sound.
but is there sound?
No.
No.
Maybe
we
I
can
should
talk
narrate
over
it. He's like, hey, fuck you. It's like, hey, futseksuga wena.
Yeah, I did get
And
a
now
little
comes the
hint.
Tyson moment.
Yo!
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
So now,
Yo. 1 2 1 2.
there's Bobby's crack dealer.
Correct. And the Zulu boy took care.
Yo, dude.
Now, the security guard's name apparently is TK.
Yeah.
TK has got a fucking huge fan club, let me
Yeah.
just tell you.
Who's TK, the big guy?
The bouncer. The
bouncer,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
okay. So, correct me if I'm
So
wrong.
let's just
here.
let that roll while we talk.
Is this going out live and is Bobby holding the camera?
No, it didn't go out live. Bobby was recording it for whatever reason he was recording it, because he'd done another one at another bottle store like the day before or something.
But
Also trying not to go in with the mask, but that one was a lot more friendly. The guys were getting upset with him.
is that online as well?
Yeah, he posted that one.
Oh.
This one, apparently, he sent to... I've read 2 different versions. In one version, he sent it to 2 people. In another version, he sent it to 3 people who were involved in the resolving of this whole event, because they've apparently apologised and it's been resolved at shop level. And whoever was one of those 2 or 3 people is whoever shared that video out and published it. Bobby did not post it himself.
So whoever published it put that
Yep.
thing, the overlay
Yep.
on it.
You know, it's kind of like when you send a dick pic to someone and then it gets out.
Yeah, that's what this
happened.
is. So it must be narrowed down to
2 or 3 people.
Some
literally.
suspects. Some suspects.
Fuck's sake, I didn't know. And to this moment, I've never listened to it because I just thought it was another selfie going on with Bobby in it. But the funny thing is, Al, holding the camera, claims it was leaked. The thing is with Al, at the very beginning, is I saw this coming up on one of the groups I'm on, I was convinced the guy in the green board shorts with the long hair and bare feet was fucking Al. So
Until he turned around and you could see
Al
the bones,
likes beer.
yeah.
Al digs his beer. No word of a lie. So there, Al tops, long hair, fucking can't see the side of his face. And then I think to myself, I can't even tell if that's the same crack of the same arse, you know.
No.
So then it wasn't, because then Bones turned round and then I saw Bobby and I thought, oh, shit, okay, I'm bound to get the commentary later. It's
Well,
like
the
watching the
comments
president. You can't bear to watch. You just wait for the meme later.
Yeah.
So, guys, I'm going to try and preamble this. We're not going to be here to jump on the pile, but we're also going to have to talk about this because he's an icon within the cannabis community. Love him or hate him, which I know he's one of those sort of characters, such a strong personality,
Yeah.
that there's oaks who froth about the oak and people who love him. And that's cool. But like I said, I've always kind of respected him because you kind of see what you get. And
Yeah.
doesn't everyone love Bobby?
Yeah.
Because this is what Bobby does.
He's
He does
straight.
give his finger to the system.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which, you know...
He's the kind of cannabis activist that I can't be. I'm not that sort of in-your-face, aggressive, unless I'm in really a bad mood. Bobby is able to do that, and we need all kind of activists. This is a very unfortunate situation. I think he's taken a huge knock from it.
He done fucked
I
up.
think
He's
he's-
apologised
I
a
hope
lot.
that-
He's mortified, but
Yeah.
the zone's the zone, and
zone is
you know
the zone.
he's been doing it a long time in the public eye, and he maybe should know better. But J Bay's now the rest of the world.
Because
Look,
this
he's got supporters that are
J-Bay,
still
Richard
firmly
Bay.
standing behind him as well, which is good. But he's pissed off.
You know
a lot
what?
of
It's
people.
like fucking Russell De Beer or whatever who was in court last week. Nobody saw him in court last week. It's like, but in the day when Russell went down, oh fucking Russell, it was like the airwaves
it'll
full of it.
blow over, Bobby.
It'll blow over,
But
Bobby,
yes.
and it'll get
Yeah,
back
but this is
to.
way different. This
is
is
I don't know if it'll blow
racist. This is
over,
like got a
though.
racist tone to it.
And
No
it
matter
has
what.
a racist
Blow
tone to
over.
it, and we don't really need this kind of behaviour from the cannabis community
No.
because we're trying so hard to break the stigma as it is.
Okay, so Dan's saying the R word, yeah? Guys, this isn't going to blow over that easily because there was that like Kevin Hart thing. Remember he was going to host the Oscars and a tweet from like 4 years or 10 years before bit him on the arse. So you still didn't share the audio, but you can go watch it. It's everywhere. We'll put the link or whatever. You know, there's the comments blew up. I bet this video has been seen 500,000 times today. Between the way it's been shared and the 100,000 it's probably hit on Facebook now, so I bet it's been seen 500,000 times. Not because it's a cannabis thing, it's just because of Oak being a dick about a mask outside of Tops. And getting his ass Kyle Army Ninja to him. But
The last time
But
he got
there
this much
were-
media, he was being hailed as the Robin Hood of the cannabis industry.
there's a lot of racism tones coming through from the community on the chat. Like I saw on his Facebook, must be on like 1,000 comments today alone.
Really? Fuck, really?
Because the way he spoke to TK with that, what's known as
Yeah,
black
it's
scent.
condescension. Yeah,
It
no,
is
that's a
talking
real.
down.
That's one of my squeamish things. Is condescension like that. I used to hear it in the movies a little bit, and it's like fuck.
And I heard murmurings of Black Twitter as well getting a hold of this. I was like,
Oh well, let's say he's not on Twitter in any form, so you'll get a shock when Black Twitter in particular. Myrtle and I go into there all the time. I dig it because I learn a lot about society through Twitter and how it is, and I find myself even translating tweets to figure out what the dude said because everyone was laughing like fuck underneath it, you know. So what did that guy say? So maybe, but hey, I digress. It is on Twitter, and it's somebody who's very disappointed at who he saw as an icon, and in a weird way, this morning I got a message into Dagga couple's inbox on Facebook that said, with the Bobby debacle going on, I would just like to thank you for being completely the way you are at all times and behaving yourself as a Dagga couple and being the, you know, like the known quantity that doesn't do shit like this. And we've had our moments. Myrtle's got a Twitter moment that's had 500,000 thing. Don't you ever ask me that again. Do you remember that thing outside the court on 702? And someone's made a meme of it,
But
and
that
it's
needed
out.
to get out there because...
Hundreds of, I see it all the time because somebody's on Twitter going, marry me, and there'll be a fucking gif of Myrtle comes out. I know. Don't you ever ask me that again.
That's brilliant.
yeah. But it's a tough time for old Bobby. You know, guys, whew, it's just like, it's one of those situations where no one's a winner.
Well, I've got an anecdote of the way that it went into my head when I heard that it happened. I don't even remember the joke, but when I was a kid, the farmers used to tell this joke about you being, you're a good man. It's a close-knit society that you live in, and the guy's cool, and he's got great integrity, and he'll help you out, and he's got a warm heart, and he looks after his neighbourhood, and but, you know, just fuck one sheep.
So just one sheep. That's it.
And this is
Easy as that.
This is his just fuck one sheep moment because nobody will forget that.
That's
you know.
exactly.
So it will blow over. It blow over for anything that happened to Myrtle and I
It's
ever
gonna take a
online.
bit of PR. It's gonna
Dagga
take a
Gate
bit
and
of...
fucking. We've got through all of this shit that people like Andre would throw at us in the early day. All of that negative shit. I think Bobby needs to clean up his timeline a little bit because fuck, he comes out with some emotive stuff, and they're going to pick the bones out of it if he's not careful. So I stuck up for him today on Twitter. The first time somebody asked, I stuck up. I said he's a good man. I've had him around. You know, he's got a great heart, but this is his moment of being a total fucking doers.
Look, we all have dickhead moments every now and then.
Yeah,
None of
well,
us
human
are
being.
perfect.
Yeah, but
Just don't do it with a fucking camera in your hand.
I think
So Dolphus Muchesakal, I'm sorry.
do you think he must have had it on because he figured at this point it was going to be evidence
he'd done
to
it
get
the day
off
before,
something or
and
whatever.
no, it's because he'd done it the day before at a different bottle store.
Just to be a contrary son of a bitch.
Just
yeah?
to be exactly Bobby Greenhash.
Okay, well, Bobby...
And he wasn't expecting it to turn into a fist fight.
It's gone quick.
Yeah.
It's gone quick, and I just hope that people realise that it's like... it wasn't cannabis what made him do it, etc. You know, it's like, oh, he's probably fucking high on his own supply and cuck, you know.
Yeah, he wasn't there for a banky.
He was
there probably for he loves his red wine, as far as I know.
Yeah, he drinks a red wine.
Could have been able to get a bottle of red wine.
We're not here to criticise or judge, you know, each one to his own. But it is a fuck up. Yeah, hey, it didn't go down well. I can't, in that moment, I can't say anyone's on Bobby's side with it. I think the number one rule, guys, the number one rule, when you fuck up, don't share it. Don't share it.
Well, somebody did it on his behalf, no? Somebody,
well, it's whoever he had to share it with in the resolution triangle.
Yeah. And also the other lesson, when you're going full fucking Karen, landscape. Landscape.
The fucking angle's right.
True story.
But also, why wasn't someone shouting World Star?
Yeah, where was the World Star? Bobby, you suck.
Oh, I'm so glad I haven't
Also, I've got to
listened
say
to
this Bones, you literally put the bum in bum fight. But guys, honestly, I hope between Bobby and Bones and TK, it's a traumatic experience. It's the last thing they're thinking about every day, the first thing. I think everyone's a loser there. I hope they are able to sort it out and make good. And maybe, you know, sometimes a thing like this is a learning experience.
That's it. Well, look, apparently apologies have done the rounds. It's all been amicably resolved.
at a person-to-person level. But
yeah, people are out there demanding he does public apologies. He goes and videos himself apologising the same way that he was antagonised.
Sure he's quite capable of going in front of a video camera.
He must make his own choices.
And also, TK, if he's shown us one thing, it's that he can fight his own fucking fights too. So hats off, TK. Yo, dude, you put those white boys down.
You don't take shit, and that's good.
Imagine being TK, not really wanting to be there, knowing that he's in the zone, the fucking all sorts of germs and shit. And
exactly,
like,
who wants
the last
to
thing he
lay
needs
fist
to
in the
do
middle of
is
a
be
fucking
doing
pandemic?
it. They can't afford to have him there doing it, and a lot of shops I see now aren't. They've got like a foot thing. They've got rid of the person because that person's like fucking 500 grand a day or whatever. So now TK's sitting there thinking, fucking wives home with all the kids still and everything else, and he's earning whatever the fuck it is at tops. And some plonker like this comes along, tuning that he's a lawyer and I know the law and I don't have to. You don't have to. We know you
Dear
don't have
management
to.
Of tops,
you know
TK
that it's
deserves a raise.
So
handled that shit.
Yeah, just it's at the moment it's a societal norm.
And
Just
Bones, I hope your arm is okay.
Yeah, look, it's But I'm sure Bones CBD Bones. Somebody, if you know a health shop, Bones.
No, but honestly, I hope everyone's okay. We sit here, we make jokes, just we're all blowing all steam and that. I hope everyone's okay. I hope everyone sorts it out. But also, TK's DMs and notifications must be blowing up.
Yeah. Dude, he's got a fan club of notes, and he deserves it. He's, he's out there doing cuck work.
Yeah, it's cuck job. But Oaks, that was us blowing off a bit of steam. Sure, it was such a weird story, but it was nice to have, in a weird way, a weird story, because it's kind of a drought, Oaks.
There hasn't been much going on for sure, but now the more and more the bottle stores open, the more stories we're going to get. It's always a good centre of a fucking attraction.
Do you think it was also a problem to get bottlenecks?
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of bottleneck pictures floating around Facebook.
I also saw Oak celebrating. He made a whole bottle the bottleneck. He just took the bottle.
Let's celebrate extra.
He's like,
big time.
He's like, I'll show you a flat rock. Anyway, Oaks, please remember, like, share, subscribe, #Hotbox Show on Instagram to enter Instagram to score some dang shit with your original filed focus bud porn pics. Our next story, the poll.
The poll.
The poll. Can cannabis help South Africa's economy? Definitely. Nope. It already is. Please remember to also go check out Fields of Green. They're running the Cannabis Help SA campaign at the moment. Gang content coming out. Go check it out. It's very informative. It'll get you up to date with everything you need to know. Guys, semen.
Sperm. Spurts.
Oh, there goes monetization. We're never going to get monetized now, Oaks. I have got so much I'm going to have to hold back. I'm going to try my best, but guys, I'm warning you now. The topic we're about to talk about is for 21-year-old and older, like the old VHS movies when you were a kid.
PG.
So if your little sister's watching or something, turn the kids away right now because we're going to be talking
Send them
PG 420.
Now we're going to get that weird like music in the background. Almost like elevator music.
Derek Tromsø, fuck that. I support Bobby G. He was maybe a bit emotional, but so what? He does a lot for the community. Yeah, both ways, Derek. It's a right royal fuck up. He said he's sorry, but as we know, if you want to lead a public life, you got to take it on the chin because it's fucking ruthless out there. Really, very rarely do I have a very, very personal opinion online anymore because some fucker wants the last word. It's just exhausting.
Yeah, screen grabs, and then it hits Twitter, and it hits
The next thing, your memory's low on your phone from all the screen grabs.
People are digging into your things, your social media posts from 2011. Yeah.
Guys, don't be twisty latey.
I'm going to try this crystal now, so if you don't see me in 10 minutes, it's because of this.
So is this one of those things? Is this thing over 90% THC? You're right.
THCA.
THCA, so it's not active.
It is now.
It is
Eat
now.
that ass.
That's brilliant.
Hello, you activated one.
So lucky to be back, guys.
It's nice.
It wasn't the same on Zoom.
No,
Yeah, no, it's
definitely
not.
not.
And I can't see any of your nose hairs tonight. Because a lot of the time all I could see was nose hair. Yeah.
Listen, I've been growing these things for a long time, okay?
It's surreal. Like
One thing that we couldn't get together for the last 2 or 3 weeks was Instamigram because of tech.
But we're going to
But I went through it today just to go on through the backlog. I've no idea. I didn't even go back far enough to when the last time there was a prize. But fuck's sake, have you been in there lately?
No.
People are growing the most amazing weed in South Africa. Fucking heroes, a lot of them.
Oh, yeah,
Great genetics. They've got all their kit. Even in lockdown, they're getting fucking deliveries. They're getting their stuff. People are operating.
All the grow shops have been operating full tilt.
And it's also been around harvest time of year as well.
Instagram now, eh?
No, we're going to do semen first.
Yeah, semen first.
So I don't know what that, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but that's a preview of Instagram coming up later, Oaks. Hashtag Hotbox Show to enter. Guys, the semen story. I don't know if it was Charles or someone who sent it or Jules, but apparently there was some Harvard study done recently to detect how much THC would be in your man sauce
Your
if you were a
terps.
smoker. Yeah,
Your tips.
Your tolly terps.
our terps is Matoli.
Oh
So,
my god.
These
Well,
guys
that degenerated quickly.
degenerated.
Yes, boy.
Oh, this
So-
is going to be such a balls up.
I'm actually going to get to the group to find that the heading for it is the funniest thing. Christ, there's a amount.
There's a mountain.
So, the thing, Charles put it up. It said this is the marijuanamoment.net news source that we use a lot. / THC infused semen can be a side effect of frequent marijuana use, study finds. That was the heading. And I put underneath, wow, that was a mouthful.
Dude, there were some grim comments. I remember one dude said such a grim thing. I can't remember what it was.
Morning glory. Myrtle bodes well for a new delivery method for the traditional wake and bake. You're damn right, it actually does. You've no idea how right you are.
But this all adds another dynamic with this. Guys, this is gonna get heavy. I've been inside for a long time on my own. Yeah. There's the question: do you have to now dab it? Or you have to wait for it to get dry and flaky so you can crumb it in your joints.
No, this is edibles.
Get it to chop it.
Edibles!
This is edibles.
Warm, dude, fresh.
A bit savoury.
folks. This is terrible. I don't know why. These oaks, like in this article, they say they're not even sure why they did this study.
What's the percentage? What's the percentage?
Okay.
What are you getting, like a 20% or 2%?
So, we always, pre-lockdown, we would do the fuck up of doing mathematics live on air. So I've done the homework here. They said that if you were a regular smoker, there's a good chance they could pick it up, the THC in your semen. It was like 0.87 nanogram per milliliter.
You're going to start.
But where's that little tub, Jules? That little Rick and Morty tub?
Yeah.
I did the math behind the scenes today. It took me a joint and a cup of tea. But I figured out that to make enough dab to fill this little container, you would need an Olympic pool full of jizz.
Wow.
Okay,
That's what the math came down to.
Alright, that was a long cup of tea you had. So
basically it doesn't work.
you may well ask why. The reason why, I'm just looking here, is I didn't get to the bottom of this earlier. That was not a pun. Is because they're sick of people saying that people who smoke weed fire blanks and you won't get pregnant and stuff and it affects your drive. So they were looking to see if it was true. So it's a real headline of headlines for a moment like this, to have a bit of fun on a show like this, but there were 12 participants. And some came and some went.
Dalton and Jack says he's never trusting any isolate again after this.
Can you imagine it being a thing on the market? Artisanal.
Let's hope it's not mass made in China.
Some kind of milking
China,
machine.
dude. No, this can get, guys, I've got to hold back. This can get so good.
OG Super Silver Semen.
Oh, no, thank you.
It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, but it was interesting. They were just trying to figure out how much there was a technical term for the barrier in your testes that things could pass through for detection. So I don't know. Maybe they work for some drug company. It wasn't the biggest study. It was a bit iffy.
Yeah.
It was weird.
And it was basically two of them had detectable levels of THC in their semen.
2 out of 12.
There must have been dabbers.
2 out of 12.
But now, do you think these oaks were whacking it there to Playboy or to High Times?
Yeah, both probably all Instamic.
It's
That's where.
No, this is terrible.
It still remains unclear the effects of THC on sperm, but I mean, if you see how many children in families that Rastafarians have, every time we go and visit the Rastas, it's fucking
More
kids
babies.
everywhere. So I don't see any problem whatsoever. There's no negative sort of population growth in any of the Caribbean countries.
It was the seeds. It was all the seeds, and now we've learned not to smoke the seeds, and we just smoke Sensimilia. So now it doesn't.
Yeah, fucking
Not
makes
anymore.
smoking the seeds.
Yeah.
It's the seeds.
But can you imagine the roadside test now as well? A lot of pressure all of a sudden.
Jesus.
And
Give
another
it for
reason,
one, please.
and another reason is it's a good way of finding out whether people are lying to you or not. Because when the doctor says, "Do you use weed?" you don't really want to let on. You wouldn't want to do it in Ohio or Kansas or some fucking place. So they're saying, you can test semen to find out.
So we're saying corporate drug testing is about to become a whole lot more interesting.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, can I borrow some of your sperm?
Sanitizer in motion. Guys, before we get on to Instagram, last chance to enter, please remember, like, share, subscribe, hashtag Heartbox Show. Let's just take a minute to thank our affiliates at Fields of Green. Guys, once again, the views expressed here are just us blowing off steam. So please go support the businesses and brands who support legalization. There's a lot of small companies out there who put their money where their mouth is, who do believe in pushing the bigger picture, on helping out with cannabis can help SA by not being there physically, but by just keeping the wheels turning. Joe, you were saying there were new guys that you spoke about earlier. Anyone else come to mind recently?
I know that we are in the process of signing up, can I say, the Haze Club? I've said it.
Oh, sure.
So,
You know what? No, she cannot say that. No, she
I
can't.
take it back. No, we are. So,
You mean the Haze Club?
the Haze Club. It's very exciting. Very, very exciting.
It is great. It's great for them as well to join the clan kind of. It's like busy on the inside now. It's fucking cooking. And
It is very busy.
And you know, you did actually take me back a little bit when you just said thanks for keeping it together.
You worked hard.
The affiliates have been keeping it together for the most part as well, and staying focused and shit
Really
and
have.
getting on with stuff. And most of them have been essential services, the CBD sellers and stuff.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. And I mean, the amount of support that they've managed to continue giving even through lockdown, it's just been mind blowing.
Ah.
Yeah, really, really mind blowing. Tearful, like kind of emotions there. That thank you guys. Oh, Plantsuticals. That reminds me, we did the shitterlit last week. I've been using the relief balm. My mom's been using it for neuropathy, and it's working really well. So
Good.
I got some feedback. That feedback is, and that's one of our also new affiliates who are absolutely mind blowing. They grow all their own stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of shit lit as a couple of weeks, and I'll report back. I've got a cream now, and I've got a very sore foot, so we'll see now how it's going.
You've got the facial rejuvenation cream, so I don't think it's
Can't
going to
you
work
tell?
on your foot. It's not going to work on your painful foot.
Every time you wipe it on, I've wiped about 14 months with one. 14 months. 14 months.
It took 420 years off, George.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
So
thing.
please, guys, go check out Fields of Green for All's affiliate page. Also, shout out to Marlene and the rest of the team behind the scenes. Myrtle and them are putting a lot of work into the Cannabis Can Help SA things at the moment as well. Go have your story. Go say your story. Even just a like, a share. It makes a big difference.
Support our affiliates because that enables them to support us, and just the fact that they're in there, they're putting their names like to this whole legalization fight and human rights laws and all of that stuff. That's a big thing, and we should be showing them our support as a way of saying thank you, you know?
I'll be green.
And I can tell you that loads of people are watching South Africa see what happens next, because it is like this beacon of hope for drug policy. Really, we're very close
We are.
to doing shit. So all these webinars and sign-ups. Fuck, I missed another webinar yesterday because I was on a webinar. So yeah, no, I've been signing up to free information from
Yeah, it's
fucking
amazing.
superheroes in my world of drug policy. There they are in fucking pajamas and shit, telling me how that's great.
Not wearing pants.
Not wearing pants, yeah. Well, I do often wonder, and all these people are doing this to a webcam. Did they just put the shirt on and just... And the picture, we had Martin Lee,
Yes.
CBD,
Project CBD.
CBD project, and when you see the screen grab of what actually YouTube created to put on the thing, his fucking hair is everywhere, and his glasses are like this, and he's
Like the mad
dressing
scientist.
gown on and sweatshirt on.
Nutty Professor.
And those are set in stone now. There's like 8 weeks of lockdown, weird episodes of a history lesson of what we were all going through. We still are going through, but it's a little bit... There's a little less sort of apprehension about it now, and more like how long is this shit going to go on now?
It was really nice being able to nail down all of these like people from overseas because everyone's stuck
We've had
at
some
home.
great. We've had some great.
man.
We've had some really good guests. We're not finished yet.
No.
I'm still looking for somebody that I don't really know anybody in England doing any personally. I know some people to tune. There's some great Twitter Owens doing.
Well,
the
who do
work.
you guys want us to talk to?
Yeah.
Tell us who you want us to talk to, and
Apart-
we'll reach out to them.
Apart from Joe Rogan and apart from Mike Tyson, of course.
Yeah, because
we
Joe
can try.
Rogan has never answered me. Next
Ed
week we've got
Rosenthal.
a,
Let's get Ed on.
yeah. We've
Ed,
got
what
a.
would you ask Ed? What question would you ask
yeah,
Ed?
Ask me anything.
You know, Ask Ed,
Yeah,
the original
yeah,
books.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you
Oh,
ask
it's
him?
one of those. Jeez.
Puck, what would you ask Ed? There's a poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight's poll. Keep polling.
Don't forget to poll.
Don't forget the poll.
Yeah, guys.
Can we have an Instagram?
So just to explain for our first-time viewers out there, Instagram is where we just take a slow look
Have you had some of that?
at some
Not yet.
bud porn from all your
Speedy as
oaks
fuck.
back home.
Yeah.
So please, hashtag Hot
Okay,
Talk
that
Show,
sounds good.
take a minute with us, let's get grilled, and let's just look at some trichomes.
Appreciate what's going on out there,
Trichome
growing on
hunting.
out there.
Yeah. Let's see that if
There
we
we
can.
go.
There we go. Well
There
done, team.
we go.
Thank you.
Well
fuckers.
done, team.
Oh,
Thank you.
dearie me. Oh, spoke too soon.
No,
fuck.
we're gonna land it. We're coming in for the landing.
Coming in.
There we go.
Oh, that looks
There's
weird.
DMs.
Oh,
There.
that looks weird.
DMs.
Ah.
There.
How are you doing there? Is that your? How are you doing there? Is that your? Is that you doing that?
Yes,
yeah, you're
that's me.
live.
That's
yeah,
me.
you're
That's
live.
me.
That's me.
Okay. There you go. So, this was Buzz's idea many moons ago. That why don't we have a little thing at the end of the show, show the bud porn, use the hashtag Hotbox Show. Now it's coming up to 8,000 pictures on the hashtag.
But there's even Oaks advertising, and I've been thinking, do you know what? That's cool.
Yeah, look,
Promote yourselves, Oaks.
but we're not going to promote you live now. Go and have a look at the feedback. Fuck, look at that. That's flash. It's a flash photo. It's always different.
Lights off.
Yeah.
Lights off.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Great exposure. Is this a different skill that we're using for Instagram? Or is that?
No?
Have you got like black background?
Yeah, we've got
You've got
night mode.
Upgraded night mode.
Night
What's
mode.
that? That's what. That's
Topping
something.
and LST, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, LST.
Scrogging.
Yeah, LST.
Well, LST is low stress training. You're
LST is
bending the
low
plants
stress
down
training.
from
You're
an
bending
early
the plants
stage
down
to get
from
it
an
to
early
LST.
stage to get it
That looks like somebody's teriyaki.
Semen.
I ain't never seen
Just
anyone
sauce.
look like that.
Just sauce.
One look like that.
Nice. Bit of art.
Pretty, oh, it's a cannabis art.
Yeah, look
With
at that.
cannabis art. Cannabis art
was Chris
in the
J's.
background.
That was Chris J.
Shout out.
I wonder if Chris J's went on Instagram before.
Yo.
Jesus, look at that beauty.
Yo, I saw that one today.
That's a healthy.
That's gorgeous.
That's like as indica as fuck. Look at those leaves. Wow. Wow. Very nice. I'm glad Instagram's working again because it's just so much fucking talent on Instagram. There it is.
We baby.
Weed baby. There is your constitutional right to surround yourself with it. There you have it.
Tight
There you have it.
Oh,
Oh, Jesus, that's crystalled up.
Crop of the morning.
Crop of the
Crop of the
morning.
morning to you.
That's getting a scrog there.
Nice and dense.
Nice and dense.
Yeah, it's a good time of year, Oaks.
Yeah, people are queuing up nicely. Bit of black and white art, very sativary looking thing there. Fucking hell, there you go. That's
Waxing.
yeah.
Waxing.
How was that moonrock, by the way?
Good. You're on.
Good. Okay. Good. TripAdvisor.
If your reviews were barely readable,
Then it must have been good.
How's that?
Who's
Who's that? That's a beaut. There's a contender. Goop. Is that a rosin goop disposed? Looks a bit rosin goop.
there's some knuckle. So will you hit that?
Yeah, hit that knuckle there.
So I just got to do a shout out to Knuckle.
Yeah.
Knuckle genetics are now on the market.
They're selling the genetics
They're
from us.
selling the
So
genetics.
you can get these dank OG
Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Fucking heck.
Just Google it, Knuckle Genetics.
Go
and
check Knuckle Genetics out, guys. They got some top drawer stuff. You're going to pay the price, but it's fucking amazing. We did it.
No regrets.
We smoked some Dragon's Breath, I think it is. Is it called Dragon's Breath? I think it's Dragon's.
It's all dank, dude.
Yeah, it was incredible weed. Bit short-lived maybe, but I've got a tolerance of note at the moment. Fucking lockdown tolerance.
Yeah.
Yes, it's wake and bake. I want to let you know. Scratch your arms, put the coffee machine on, and put the dab rig on, basically.
No, it's not like that. It's not a dab rig on, turn the coffee machine
dab rig
on,
on,
scratch your ass,
scratch your
and then
Scratch your ass.
That
on.
should be on the timer.
Or we just leave it on from the night before.
Or we just leave it on from the night before before we turn it off.
Yes, only there's a red glow in the lounge. Go for a piss in the middle of the night. It's like, oh, fuck, I have to dab.
Or you smell
Then
when
you go hit it quickly.
Then you go hit it quickly.
you smell when a dog or catty lands on
Oh, sorry, how are we doing here? I digress. How are we doing there, Danny? Has anyone picking a winner? Or we
Photos, yeah.
There's a sugar leaf.
Frosty.
How's that sugar leaf there? There's
I'd even smoke that.
Yeah, I know. Whip it up.
Whip it real good.
Ladies and look at this from the butter before. Shatter now.
We've seen a lot of dab this time. Usually we don't see this much dab. I think it's the time
harvest.
of year.
Yeah, harvest dabs. Yeah, look at that rosin streaking out of there.
The gush.
Wow, that is a nice plate of perps.
That really is very pretty.
Yeah. Beetroot kush. Again, that in the same indica planter.
Same indica planter.
Baby. There's a good on 200 grams on there.
200 grams.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
There is officially a rolling paper drought. If you can find them, get them.
Well,
The same as cigarettes.
Or get a tomato.
Get a tomato.
Aha.
Aha.
Jeez.
Jeez.
That'll put your lights out, that dry sift. It's heavy. Yeah? Look at that. Aha. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
And then where that's
Jesus.
Something got jizzed on.
Yeah, there'll be jizz in that THC.
Jizz in that THC.
Very beautiful colours. Who's that?
Colours.
Who's that? That's a beaut.
The cell's echoing.
Okay.
Apparently the comments, everyone's saying there's a heavy echo. Heavy echo on the side.
Oh.
Heavy echo technical department. We'll work on that. Thank you very much.
Someone
Get the
would like
dog.
us
The
to
dog.
add a beat.
The dog needs a wee really quick. It's like prostate deluxe. I'm not sure. We haven't done anything.
Has it only been since Instagram, guys?
But the pictures speak for themselves.
Yeah. Dark Lord says add a beat.
Child. I bet that nug weighs 2 kilograms. It's so tight.
Check out that grow. Look at that. Make a plan. That's in the roof. Oh, that's in a Wendy house.
A lot of time, guys.
That's a Wendy house right there.
Should he have maybe flipped?
Maybe trained it a bit lower.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah.
There's one of the successes to successfully growing weed is to not let your weed outgrow you.
Take control of it. Don't let it take control of you.
What's the dates, Harry? Are we getting back to?
I don't know where we were last week. Oh, here we go. Well, here's Paul Michael. So
There's Paul
didn't do
Michael.
last
Okay,
week.
so we've.
I'm going to start going back up. And then who's choosing the winner?
You. But
Oh,
I've got that the beautiful one that we saw twice. That was purple in the first one. That's a classic. Just a note on last week. There's so much traction on Paul Michael and Anthony Reese's CBD information.
Yes.
It's great. We cut it into shorts. Go to the YouTube channel. You'll pick up all of these shorts. It all gets chopped up in the week for you to watch 10-minute bites of stuff. The information. If you're in the CBD game, go and check what Paul Michael said. Go and see what the TNHA are up to, and you'll find links into their businesses. Is that the one?
I'm just checking this one. And
Wow. Yeah, the shorts. And Instamigram is a short every week, so if you want a 15-minute of mindless flick through bud porn while we narrate a complete load of twaddle, then this is the place for you at the end of the show.
Yes.
Such a nice exit, you know.
It really is. That's
DeVille, there's DeVille, like there's a... Sure.
beautiful looking plant.
Yeah,
really
isn't
is.
it? Very unusual.
Now I'm going to ask the question, is that genetics or is that just because it's this time of year where it's cold?
This is sitting outside.
Both.
It's a bit of both. It's what, slurricane. Yeah,
A slurricane.
there we go. It's the cold.
I see gang slurricane round. I see it.
Look at this, covered in trichomes with a lovely creamy dark... What did that say? Lovely creamy dark flavour oozing out of the swelling calyxes. Jeez.
Oh,
Whoa.
he does write it like one of
0861
those.
And his name is high school teacher, so he's got the acumen to write it right.
High school teacher has been entering for a
Long time. I think they've won once,
time.
maybe a while ago, but they're
Well,
definitely eligible
If
again.
he has or hasn't, I'm choosing him.
His
Cool.
game's strong.
Yeah, I like
Game
these two photos
strong.
he's put
Good,
up.
good.
They're really nice.
That's a beauty.
I just think that's a well
Herb put
beautiful
one
shot.
up very like that the other day. He had a
Beautiful.
garden shot like that the other
Yeah.
day.
Well done.
How's that?
Yeah. There are other.
Oh,
there's just so many good shots
nice.
also, but these two are sticking out to me.
Dope.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Who's won that one?
True. High school
High
teacher.
school teacher.
High school teacher.
Yes.
Yep.
We like the way you word things and we like your
let's
pictures
see.
too.
Let's have a look here. Look at this. If you go into
High fives
profile,
and fist bumps. High school teacher.
and he's out there.
Yeah, it's got a couple of
Yep.
tutorials as well.
Tutorials. Check him out, guys. Seems like he's got quite an active feed.
Looks like he's got some very nice eyes.
And clearly he can grow fucking dank. So,
Yeah.
cool.
Exactly.
So
Nice one. Well, we've got a very groovy T-shirt coming your way from one of the affiliates and some stuff in a box, and it
Or
won't
maybe
be,
even blades.
and it won't be Blade.
Oh.
But well, there is.
No, wait, we can.
We can. There are some.
Maybe
South
one
African
blade.
blades.
Maybe one blade for your high school teacher.
We'll see you next week. Bye.
No, the poll. So, guys, this week's poll was: can cannabis help South Africa or help South Africa's economy? The options were definitely no, or it already does, because there's kind of a black market that's always existed and still sustains even now in this environment. I haven't got my phone.
I've got it right here for Facebook. The Facebook poll, over 60 people voted tonight.
Wow.
And 82% said definitely can, and 18% said it already is.
Okay.
So there's no way. The only way it can go wrong is if humans fuck it up by being corrupt and stupid and fucking greedy and everything else. So we just got to guard against that, and we're home and dry.
That's
Everybody wants this to happen. We're on the right side of history, everybody.
That's it. And then the YouTube poll?
Oh, look at these pictures that are just coming up. You've just rolled that.
Of the
Moon rock.
So that was the moon rock that was
That was just put in the bong.
that we enjoyed in the studio tonight.
Fucking hell, look at that.
First, second covered.
Well done for doing this to my grandma. This is, this could be construed as heavy machinery after a fucking giant big bang like that.
No ways.
But we're going to have to take our next moon rock to the next level by rolling tobacco on the outside of that.
And the YouTube poll, less people, there's much more people on Facebook tonight, but definitely more, 50-50 basically, definitely there already is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. There already is.
Well, look at all that weed that's potentially for sale in all those pictures there.
Yeah.
Hell of a thing.
Phenomenal.
Overgrowing their government. Well, boys and girls have been pretty cool having some company.
It's been so
It's
good
good.
to have everybody, almost everybody back in the studio.
Almost everybody, yeah.
Missing
man.
the techies.
And all the lovely people at home.
Yeah.
Because I've missed you oaks in the chat and you oaks who lurking, who never say fuck all. But that's okay, I've missed you too as well.
Yeah.
Chris J, nicely done tech team, thanks. Chris J sound is perfect. Charles, hotboxing dub.
Yeah, that's it.
So it wasn't us, it was your reception.
We'll get Max Harrell on it straight away.
We need to get Max on it, and are we allowed to play that one day, or is that his property shit?
I wouldn't play it.
I wouldn't play it. No, it's too much. It's a rebroadcast, isn't
No
it?
safe with YouTube. It's the algorithms, the bots, they listening. They're listening.
Yeah.
Again, if you're in the CBD game, there's a link in this bio tonight to a business day, 40 minutes actually, with Paul Michael, Sapra, and Pierre van der Hoven, who's a farmer.
Yes.
And so they were in a panel discussion about what Sapra's doing, and there's a couple of cool questions got fired Sapra's way about, didn't we hear the president say they were going to look into corruption about licenses?
Yeah, they did.
And
It's about a year ago, wasn't it?
you
Shit
could
went
hear
down.
you could hear a squirm at the other end of the Zoom.
Yeah.
So, guys, you can go check it out on the hype.
Yeah.
I've got it there. It's also on
Have you?
YouTube. It's all over. It's, Jules has also shared it on Dagga Couple. What was very interesting, I'm going to squeeze this in parting shot,
Yeah.
is what this chick from Sapra said. You guys who are so CBD before, get your textbooks out and put in the projector on. Pay fucking attention. What this chick from Sapra said, she said that if CBD is a natural byproduct of the process of the product, it can be sold. If CBD is a natural byproduct of the product, it can be sold with the product. That means if you're making hemp seed oil and I have a bit of CBD squishes in with it, and it's in the recommended fuck all guideline,
0.003 or something.
yeah, there's the 20 milligram daily dose buy thing, it's fine as long as they came together. But you cannot take CBD and introduce it to anything else.
As
You
a
can't
food
take an
stuff.
isolate and introduce it, but you can squish a CBD plant. Is that what you're saying?
You can squish a plant that's got that in its dose already.
Right.
You can't alter it by taking it out. So
Yeah.
basically you can only make CBD out of hemp. But they're saying you can't cut CBD. They're saying you're not allowed to cut CBD. You can't even use the CBD that came legitimately and cut it in a dog biscuit.
Isolate.
Or you can't cut it with isolate. They're saying you are not allowed to introduce CBD into another consumable because that's outside of SAPRA's mandate. Now it's food regulations and all those
What is
other
it?
things.
The cosmetics, chemicals, and fireworks. What is that weird act of that one now? The food stuff,
The four-port
cosmetics, and
Yeah.
fucking fireworks or something.
So whole plant CBD is fine if it's small as a byproduct of a whole plant process, but you can't buy isolate and then add it to coconut oil or butter or MCT.
But
or,
it's what they want, not what they got at the moment. You know, it's like it will change. It's all complete control rubbish. It cannot go on the way it is. There's court cases coming screaming at them.
Left, right, and centre.
It really is.
And
There are some fucked up, corrupt licenses, and people have been sold millions of stories about how amazingly amazing it's all going to be. Projection. It was a cool discussion. The point is, it's a very cool 20 minutes of your lockdown time.
Super insightful.
Yeah, it is. It's very quick fire, and the Business Day anchor, he knows his subject really well. He's like an Eben Janssen. He's definitely on our side. I mean, he wants it to happen.
He was on point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he puts his saliva on the paper.
yeah.
But guys, go check it out and all that. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's been good hanging out. Please. #Cannabis can help SA. Go check out the work Myrtle and the rest of the team are doing on Fields of Green for All.
Check out our affiliates page.
Yeah. Delta 9 Jack, you ask how it's going with the petition. We've got like 150 signatures that could really use help. But go check the show later. Go check the segments we've been chopping up for all y'all at home, so you don't have to watch for 2 hours, because I know all of y'all are like that Joe Rogan 10-minute format.
Yeah.
We'll do that for you.
And in the meantime, we just want you to stay safe and choose happy.
Yeah. And we'll see you next week, and we'll get blazed again. And you've got a guest possibly.
Oh, I've got an exciting guest for us. He's a cannabis life coach.
And where's he from?
He's a life coach from, I think he's in California. His name's Bradley King.
Bradley King. Go check out Bradley King.
Go check out Bradley King in the meantime. He's on TikTok. He's on YouTube.
What do they do? Oh, we'll find out next week.
A huge big article in High Times.
Cool. So if you need life coaching, next week's the spot to be for an hour of therapy.
That's it.
Don't forget, grow your own.
Yeah.
Grow your own.
Stay
Good night.
And fuck the police!
Oh! Smoke cigarette.
Wow.